Obviously, there's quite a lot of Lions fans out there that are not necessarily the biggest Jared Goff fans. We know this. We also know that some of them wanted us to draft a quarterback this year in the draft or maybe trade for a quarterback. And as such, we're going to talk about two specific quarterbacks. The first one we're going to talk about is Deshaun Watson. And then we're going to talk about Baker Mayfield because, coincidentally enough, Baker Mayfield just got traded to the Carolina Panthers for a conditional fifth round pick. So the first thing I'm going to ask is, how glad are you that Brad Holmes did not make that trade for Deshaun Watson?
Looks a lot better now. Brad Holmes, both of these deals make Brad Holmes look even smarter than he did beforehand. I almost feel bad, to be honest with you, for Cleveland fans, because imagine when you make that trade and you don't know, oh, if he does play this, the routes that they got, the Browns are going to be electric. This is the year. This is the time for them to make a run. And all of a sudden, it's like 2024, maybe. That's so brutal. I didn't. How many first round picks did they get? 4 or something? So many picks to give away.
They gave up 3 first round picks, and I believe they also gave up a second and I think a fourth to go and get Deshaun Watson from the Texans.
And
they gave up everything to get Deshaun Watson.
Back.
It looks like he's not even going to play this year.
Burning another year off that contract, 1 year closer to having to shell out money to re-sign any of that. Like, brutal spot for the Browns. But we talked about Deshaun all throughout the summer and in the spring. Like, that was the risk you assume. You get an all-time QB, all-star quarterback. Obviously, they gave up a lot to get him. But then it was like, hey, maybe he'll play. Maybe he just won't play. So, short end of the stick for the Browns. Glad it's not the Lions, though, for once. Glad it's not the Lions for once. Much rather have it be Cleveland.
I totally agree. Because here's the thing. When you talk about the Lions, at least for the last 20 years, they have almost always been the butt of everybody's jokes for making some of the most boneheaded decisions in the NFL. And for once, it's not the Lions. We were not the ones to bite that poisoned apple that is Deshaun Watson, giving up all that draft capital just so that way we could have a guy sit on the sideline that we just dole out $230 million guaranteed for. And it's you traded all that draft capital and dole out all that money, and he's just going to sit on the sideline twiddling his thumbs going, toot, 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 toot. So when I look at that, it's thank you, Brad Holmes. Thank you from the bottom of my heart that bleeds Honolulu blue and silver that you did not take that chance. Thank you for being that smart. Now, I'm also thankful that Brad Holmes did not decide to go after Baker Mayfield, who we just talked about, went to the Carolina Panthers, because there were a lot of fans that thought maybe we could swap Baker Mayfield for Jared Goff. And I was like, that is the most asininely stupid idea I've ever heard in my life. It's just dumb. Because think about it here. Nobody's going to really say Baker Mayfield's better than Jared Goff. At best, they're on the same playing field right now. Furthermore, if you take a look at the stats, Jared Goff actually played better than Baker Mayfield last year. And that was with a better supporting cast, because who did Jared Goff have to throw to most of the year? Khalil Raymond? Who did Baker Mayfield have to throw to? That's right, OBJ, Javaris Landry, you name them, he had them. So, as far as I'm concerned, I'm glad that Baker Mayfield also didn't bite on the whole Baker Mayfield thing, because all Carolina had to do, in essence, was just trade a conditional fifth-round pick and pick up the remaining $8 million of his salary after Cleveland took out the first 10. So it's like, that's a pretty team-friendly deal, considering he's on his fifth year. It's almost
Carolina.
the Carolina
Could breed success. And then, worst case, who knows? They might just be thinking, we're going to ride with Darnold, but if Darnold goes down, we got a guy who's got plenty of experience, Baker Mayfield. If he's a backup or vice versa, Darnold the backup, that's like the best backup you could probably have in the league. I will say it's funny, like coming off the season in which it was not pretty for the Lions, where we are now, it's almost a blessing that it went so poorly, because who knows if the Lions would have won like 6, 7, 8 games last year. Who knows if when the Deshaun sweepstakes comes about, maybe they throw their hat in the ring because they think they're a little bit closer to competing than they were before. And it's nice that we are further away, because Brad Holmes probably goes, we need every draft pick we can get. We'll get a quarterback a little later down the road. We're a little more ready. Because it, like, hemorrhaging the future like that for a guy who knows if he'll play, like that is, I could feel pain in my heart. And I have no affiliation with Cleveland. I can just feel it. I feel the anguish.
Man on a mission, I'ma get it. You know I be on a what?